Mavis.live. All right, recording. So Mavis.live, it's the education arm of my business. So we basically run different types of live classes online. So online and actually offline, but it's just that we can't really run any offline now. So if you're interested to know more of other courses that we run, please visit Mavens.live. So before we start, just to make, I know that everyone, like most of you already typed a 1-1 for me. So let's try another feature of Zoom. If you go up there, you will see annotate. Press annotate. And you can simply write a text next to how are you feeling today. You can just circle like, oh, how are you feeling? Okay, why am I there? Okay. So there's a few categories. Can you circle? How are you feeling today? Let me know. Annotate. You can write your name also next to it. How are you feeling today? I'm grateful. Today is my last class. And I mean, last class for Go Teach the ASEAN. And I just did a quick count recently. It's over 200 plus students that have taken this class. So you can see like how hard it is for accounting. And where are you guys? Do you know how to get it? So on top, you will see the Zoom feature annotate. Then you can write your name like this. Yeah, Fiza, excited. Liliana, a bit worried. Buzzley, overwhelmed. So how are you feeling today? Let me check this. There should be 21 of us, including me. How about the rest? Are you familiar with Zoom feature now? I'm sure you are. Oh, Humaydi, this is new to you. If you go over the top of the screen, there's annotate. So there's a Zoom tab that will pop down, at least for me. So you just choose annotate, then you can actually write your name. Wow, overwhelmed. Is it because it's accounting? I know accounting is always a pain. I have been teaching accounting for so long. Okay, so Humedi, yeah, Humedi. This is something new for you to learn. Excited, peaceful, what, good to know, good to know. Confident. Many overwhelmed today, yeah. Click the view option, okay. It's a bit different from mine. Yeah, we are teaching each other today. And just to let you know, this guy here, his name is Spark. He's my ambassador, just to let you know. This guy's name is Spark. As a viewer on Zoom, but I'm feeling excited. Okay, Akila. It's something new for you to learn, you see. Something new to learn. Well, I'm happy to see that most of you are here. Surprise, happiness, these two categories. And just one lady here, a bit worried. Okay, thank you so much for sharing this. I mean, like, it's just to share how you're feeling. Ada yang gentle lagi here, gentle. Ada migraine ka? Migraine? Yeah, I hope what we're going to do next will not bother you too much. Okay, we'll try to make it as simple as possible. Oh, still ada yang want to play around. What was that? Accepted. Okay, so thank you so much for sharing. Why, it's a nice one. Everyone has had different feelings today, but here we are meeting here just for digitalize our record keeping. So I guess most of you having your own business here. That's why you are here. We are expecting MSMEs, but no, sometimes we do have like students coming from colleges and unis. They are interested to start their business, but they just want to learn more, like what's available here, what are the softwares, what are the tools. They are free for us to use. That's why normally I'll just share the free ones, but now it's getting harder to get a free stuff I have to say . So there are times that we may need to start invest in software like this to make our life easier. Okay, thank you so much for sharing. I'll clear everything off. Okay. Okay, let me clear that. So let's move. So this is brief introduction about Mavens.life. So we are basically like a marketplace lah, macam tempat supermarket, like tempat shopping like that. It's just that we shop for live classes, and we actually just started 1st June this year. My vision really is to help youth like yourself staying relevant in today's market. And in fact, learning is lifelong. So some of you may not be youth, but then you are here. One of my eldest student that I used to have, actually it's a video, but it's not moving. My eldest student for this Go Digital class, it's 61 years old, a retired woman that joined with her son, I think earlier this year. It's actually a class earlier this year. So it's really motivating to see how people of different ages come together in one class, and I'm happy and excited to share what I know and try to make learning a bit more easier for people to understand, because accounting, numbers, people normally don't like it. Yeah. So so far we are hosting different experts from either as individual or they are coming from training organizations in 4 different countries, and we obviously my goal is to go forward to have, if possible, mark all the countries in Southeast Asia. That means my internet is quite slow. Or it's just like Brunei is currently quite slow. Okay, let's skip that. It's okay. So this is what we do. I also run different projects for different organizations, and here we are under Go Digital ASEAN with YEAD. Yeah, in fact, there's a few more coming up. I think until the end of this month, there should be like another 5 or 6 classes coming up under this Go Digital, and that's it. We are done with our project. So our objective for today, I hope this excites you, because I really want to make accounting painless. It's just too much pain. Recently, I talked to an entrepreneur. She's Brunei. She's from Brunei, but she's currently venturing out to Singapore. So we recently have a quick call, and I told her about this. I said, like, hey, I feel like I want to start something on accounting, like build a longer punya course lah. It's not just a one-off like this 1 hour and 30-minute session with you guys. So and she actually joined one of my classes. So I asked her like, oh, how is it, like, is there anything else you need that I can build a more comprehensive program? Then she said, donations. How to record donation, because COVID kan, there are so many companies that actually run initiative to donate stuff for under related to COVID-19. So she asked me how to record. I told her I said, oh, okay, I didn't know that sometimes there are different scenarios that's happening in different countries or different companies, and how are we going to record that? And learning from this one class is not enough. So that's why we talk about like how we can develop another program for that. And yeah, so the reason why we do this, just in case you may know or may not know, that keeping accurate records now, it's actually a legal requirement in Brunei. It's actually a legal requirement. So as a small and business, micro, small and medium-sized enterprise, it's a requirement for us to keep a record up to 5 years. Okay, so in the simplest definition that we can find in all textbooks, what is accounting? So you can see that it's a process of 5 different things. It's recording, summarizing, report, analyze, and interpret. So for today, we are focusing on digital record keeping. So it will be just recording and auto summarize, and we'll come up with some reports at the end. So far, so good. Because last time I have an issue that I talk too fast. So today I'll make sure, Liana, I'll talk slower today. Last time I got a warning, hey, you talk too fast. All right. So this is the starting. If you have a very basic knowledge in accounting, this is something you must be very familiar. Just take it as a quick recap. I actually have a student before. She is an accountant, for 10 years, and then she joined my class. I was like, why are you here? Well, actually for her, she feels like, oh, this is a good recap for her because tax work has been long, right? After that, you have been in the industry, things are a bit more different. But it's good, still good to know the basic stuff in accounting for you to move forward. So there are key terms that you will see, like for example, assets. Assets, it's to make it simpler, like I put it as what you own. For example, your car. For example, your shop house. For example, your machine. So all these stuff will be under assets. Even cash in your bank, that's an asset, what you own kan. So liability is what yang you hutang, yang you owe. So normally it's like supplier lah. Let's say I buy from this supplier, they give me like half month or 1 month credit. So that means I'm actually owing this person for half to 1 month time. That's a liability for me. Revenue, it's what are we earning? So for example, Mavis.life, okay, I earn it by the fees that I charge for running classes, right? I also run a F&B business. So I sell nasi lemak. That nasi lemak is what I earn also. That's my source, my income. So that's what I'm earning. Expenses is what we paying. So for example, our gaji, electricity, utilities bills, our rental, so insurance even. So those things are considered expenses. And trade receivable or debtors. Debtors are more commonly known are those that who hutang you. So they owe you money. I sell it to them, but they pay me 1 month later. So those people are called debtors. Creditors are the example just now. So the supplier, I hutang them for taking the ingredients first, for example. So these people will be creditors and they are our liabilities. So capital would be how much your owner is investing. So when you start a business, let's say you put 500 in, that is your capital. And drawings is when you start to withdraw. So you take out money after you earn macam 1,000 sudah, okay, you want to take out some money, so that's drawings. Current asset, anything called current, like asset and liability, we mentioned about it earlier. So current meaning anything within a year, and non-current meaning it's anything more than a year. So it will tahan for some time lah. For example, your car, obviously you use for more than a year, that it's a non-current or fixed asset. Okay, so that's the key terms. If you cannot catch it, you can take a photo now. Okay, so this is the super basic that you always hear people talking about this when they talk about accounting. Debit, credit, that's a very, very common term. You always hear people saying this, right? Debit, credit. Okay, so because that's the golden rule that we need to know. Every transaction will affect the business in at least 2 aspects, which are equal and opposite in nature. Opposite pasal, one is debit, one is credit. So for example, let's say I pay salary by cash. That's a transaction. I pay gaji, I pay salary by cash. Still other people pay by cash ka? Or everyone transfers saja? Okay, let's say I pay by cash. So in this case, we know that money is going out. So the easiest way to see this is I'll know cash, money must be going out. So money in, money out. That's how I ask my student to remember. If money is going out, credit. So if the cash account, in this case, cash account is credit, that means another account is salary. Again, that's the only other account that I can come up with. It must be another side, which is debit, because it's opposite. So for this scenario, if I buy a salary with cash, that means I would debit salary, credit cash. So that's a simple example just to show you how it works out. But with the golden rule, so there's a rule that you can remember, which is very good for you to know for journals purposes. Because even if you pakai software, you would still need a basic knowledge on what account to debit, what account to credit. But to know what account to debit or credit, you just need to know the categories, which is this. If you know it's an asset, then you will know if increase, what should we do? Category. Okay, so, okay, my writing is horrible. Assets. So just now we talk about cash, right? Cash is an asset. And we know that when cash keluar, we go credit, right? So when cash is increasing, it is debit. So this is the rule. Asset increase, debit. Asset decrease, credit. So that's how it works out. Asset and liability normally is direct opposite, because asset is what we own, liability is what we owe, right? So that means the direction would be different. Kalau increase in liability, that means you credit that account. So far, so good? If it's good, can you give me a 5? Just check on everyone if it's okay. Can you give me a 5? Okay, all good. You know, my Thai and Lao friend, normally they were like 555, like when we were chatting, they'll put like 555 like this. I was like, what that means? Rupanya is ha ha ha. in their language, 5 is ha. So when they say ha ha ha, it will become a 555. Oh, okay. I accidentally just sent it to the YEAB. So yeah, 555. Okay, cool. So revenue and expenses, obviously satu category also. So revenue if increase, let me show, if I can show an example. Let me clear it off first. Let me show you an example. It'll be easier for you to understand. Maybe I change a blue color lah. Red looks so stressful. So let's look at revenue expenses. So let's say other income. So for example, my fees lah, okay. So it's more like, let's say I have a class fee. I run classes for YEAB. Okay, and then they pay me in, actually they pay me in, let's say I just pay in cash account. Okay, this one account. Okay, so if money is coming in, let's say they are paying me for my service here. Money is coming in, right? In is apa just now, debit, right? Okay, so that means I need to debit cash account. So my income, which is the fees that I'm charging, money coming in, this is debit already. This one confirm credit. Your income will be credit side. So whatever it is, I know cash is somewhere there, then you can use this as a reference. If you know money is coming in, cash is debit, right? Whatever the income receiving, it must be credit. So I can say revenue, if other increase, it will be debit. And expenses, obviously, is a direct difference. So increase, it will be here, debit. Revenue, credit. Asset tadi, increase, debit, right? Then liability is like this. Okay, I hope I'm not confusing anyone. So far, so good. So this one satu categories, this one. As long as you know one of it, another one you confirm tahu sudah lah. It's direct opposite. So trade receivable and trade payable. Debt is actually your debtors and creditors. And we know that debtors is actually your asset because they hutang you, they're going to pay you, right? That's what you own. So it will follow assets saja. So increase is on the debit. While the trade payable, which is the creditors, yang we hutang is a liability, so it will follow the liability. Increase on the credit side. Capital and drawing is also a subcategory here. It's capital is what we invest. Drawings is what we withdraw and we take from business. The easiest way to remember this, my cheat way lah for my students, because I'm also teaching L-level student. Ikut saja the alphabet. Capital C kan increase, credit. Drawings increase, okay, go for the debit. So that is the rules. As long as you know when increase, which side it is, debit or credit, then you are safe for your journals already. So that's the basic ones lah for a normal business need to know. Okay, let's move on. Let me clear. Is everyone okay? Okay, I need to check on you guys. Okay, let me check. For revenue, if increase, should we debit or credit? Put in the chat box. Revenue, if increase, should we debit or credit? Three credits. Sure. Oh, ada debit nah, ada debit. Revenue, yeah. Okay, two of you guys fight that. two teams now. One debit team, one is a credit teams. Which one is correct? Luckily, I checked on this. All right, let me just tell you again, like why the answer is actually credit, but I'll tell you why. Expenses is debit. So just now I show you an example of the fees that I'm receiving, right? So now let's look at it as sales. I sell nasi lemak kan, so that sales account. I sell nasi lemak. So every day I'll receive cash, and then sometimes I receive transfer now. So money is coming in. Tadi I teach you in debit, out credit. So sales, obviously money is coming to me. So it will be always debit cash, debit side. So kalau cash kena debit, sales account must be credit. And that's the reason why I put here. Revenue will always be credit balance. Okay, so those yang say debit, look at the explanation here, okay? So for expenses, let me show you another example. Let's say I bayar gaji now, salary. Salary is an expenses account. So money keluar kan, money keluar will be on the credit side. Let me use a different color, purple. So it will be on the credit side, right? If the money is going out. So if here is credit, cash account is credit, then how about salary? It will be debit side. That's the reason why. Kalau ada increase in salary, that means you pay out money kan. There's more salary now we need to pay. It will be debit balance. Okay, that's a simple explanation lah. If you want to understand like why debit, why credit. Although some students they just hafal saja lah, like okay, which side it is. But to make it actually, if you understand it, it's not that hard anymore. You can use the cash account as a reference, and you know what you should do to the account. Okay, let's move on. So this is a 6 steps, like the Amazon punya logo. So this is the 6 steps that we're going to do in the simplest form lah. So what happened is that in accounting, there must be a transaction first. There must be a monetary transaction, something related to money. Then baru tak it's relevant for us to include in accounting. Because in accounting concept, we have something called, okay, first basic thing that I need to teach you is why we do capital and drawings. Because our money as an owner, it's our money. Business is business making money. So under the accounting concept of accounting entity, it must be clear cut. So if you take out money from the business, you have to record that, oh, the owner take out money. So that's why that's a transaction already. So this is the first step. If other transaction, there must be a source document. You go supermarket, other receipt, right? If you go out to pay for your suppliers, they will give you a receipt. Or invoice or purchase order. So all these are documents that will kickstart the whole journey of accounting. So after that particular document, you will record that in a journal. So journal, normally there's like 7 types of journals lah, which we don't need to go through that. But this is where you record by date all the debit and credit of accounts. And after that, we must sort ledger. So which is the T account just now. It looks like a T just now that I draw out. That's called a ledger. So after the ledger, we will balance the account, masukkan in the trial balance. And the trial balance will help us to prepare these two. That's the normal one. If you go for any competition, or you want to go for a bank loan, if they ask you to submit a business plan with a financial plan, this is the thing that they want to see. What's your forecast of cash flow and what is your income statement and balance sheet? So this is basic one yang you have to prepare lah. But with software purpose, you just need to do your data entry, which is this step. All these are bought for you already automatically. That's the reason why you are here. You don't need to like macam the school style pakai calculator lagi and you have to write on the paper, and if salah lagi or everything is affected, all these things. But here you basically it's not even easy to get wrong anymore because the data entry it's more straightforward. So we'll see later. Okay, so this is the books, and how many of us are in now? Okay, there's 25 of us. So most of you should have created an account from ZipBooks, but this is just a snapshot of what to expect from this software. So you can see there's only few tabs here. The first one that most of us, the main reason why we use this is there's invoices. You can charge people like invoice, meaning you minta payment lah already. That's why that's an invoice. Estimate, it's a US term, but the common term that we use is quotation. So there are cases where you need to issue quotation first. If they agree, they send you a PO, purchase order, and if you agree already, you bagi invoice and they pay you, you give them a receipt. Everything is done under this tab, your selling punya part. And you see the small star here, the icon, that means we need to bayar lah for the feature. If you have a recurring invoice, meaning every month Anang you have to minta the payment, if it's a recurring business, then it'll be so much easier for you to have this because they auto send it for you. You don't need to remember at the end of the month, I have to send the invoice lagi every 25th of the month. I have to send. So you are helping yourself to be less manual or your team members. So you can set it as recurring, but this one would require a subscription every month. Okay, so under the transactions, so this is where normally I record the expenses, the journals type. So it will be coming under this section, and you can see most of it we can't really pakai lah. It's all paid session, paid. Yeah. Okay. You want to say something, Sri? So you can send it to the chat box for now if there's anything. The third section here would be the reports. So you can see the first two are data entry. So that's the part that we most often of the time you will be using it as a user, and the reporting will be done automatically. So it's just that you want to assess and check saja, okay, how much money I'm making, how much total sales are, how much people hutang me, okay. So that would be under reports. It's just for you to analyze, to view it. Contacts, okay, like this is just a contact list. You can just import all your contacts, or you can create your contacts under this section. That's not much. Tracking, need to bayar also, so I just skip that for now. And accounts, so I'll go through this with you guys to set up your account. Okay, it would be nice for you to have two screens, so that you can try, or you can make it smaller so you can share your monitor screen. Okay, let's go to ZipBooks. Okay. So for those yang ada account, please quickly create an account. For those yang ada account sudah, you may go to account tab. Go to your account tab. Can you set the basic info for your company? Here we are. Can you set a basic details for your company? Your logo, what's your company name, what's your address, what's your phone number? So for those yang belum, please create an account. If you have any questions, just text in the chat box. So what I'll do next is to walk through all the basic features with you. And we'll spend a little bit of time. Normally it takes like 20 minutes like that for you to what the exercise. So other exercise, yeah. And we'll have a quick check at the end of the session if you have done it right. So yes, put your payment details. Accept payment we can't really use, but it's like PayPal like that lah. PayPal, what are the other payment? Stripe like that. What happened to my internet? Cannot open. So normally I can't really use accept payments, like we can skip that. Location is if you have more than one branch, then you may include different branches. The most important thing for you to know is only the first one, the company, and the preference. Under the preference, there's a part where you need to say what account currency. So change that to Brunei dollars. Okay, then Barutah, your invoice, all these things, your transaction letter will be in Brunei dollars. This is just the term name. It can be clients, it can be customer. Depends on your business. What do you want to call? So they will generalize the names for you. Okay. Integration, I think not much also. There's only like 3. Like if you're using Slack, for example, then they actually can connect, no? Can connect ZipBooks and Slack. If not, I think the most important thing would be your company and your preference. That's the only thing you need to update. Okay, let me know if it's good for you. Can you type a 2 for me if you are done updating your company and preference? If siap sudah, can you type a 2 and let me know? Ada yang ada question pun, you can just text, type it out. What's your problems and the issue kan ada. So mostly so far okay. All right. Okay, most of you are good. Good to know. Ada yang Wi-Fi lagging. Yeah, even mine just now another appear my accept payment. Oh, Brunei is having a tough time now with the connection. Okay. Okay, more okay. So all right, next we move on. Okay, let's go to the invoice punya tab. So under the invoice tab, there's basically only 2 things that I need you to know. All right, just now we talk about sudah invoices and quotation. So quotation is when people minta lah, like, oh, how much is it if I want to order this? But if they request for a quotation, sometimes people request for quotation, then you please go to estimates. There's no quotation name, but there's an estimate here. So how to do this? You can press the plus button, the green color one. Okay, that's the only green thing there. So press it. So here we go. So customer. So if ada customer yang you pernah set from the context, then it will appear. If not, for example, I'll just text something now. Text. So let's say I don't have this customer name. You can just directly put add text. Text. So you just create directly the contact that you have. If you want the more details, the better lah. Then you save it. So the name will be here. Normally, I'll do quotation since Brunei not familiar with quotation. I'll put the word quotation here. And depending on what are your service. So if it's a service, then you can put a task. If it's an item, then you can put it in. So for example, I sell nasi lemak lah. Banyak also nasi lemak. Nasi lemak large. Nasi lemak it's 450 and they probably requesting for 50 packets. Okay, that will be 225. Okay, let me check. All right. So all good, this one? Make it bigger. So if there's any discount, you can directly put here, let's say 5% lah, my customer. So you can just change here, the discount column. Okay, banyak tool yang baru coming in now. Hopefully you are catching up with my quotation. So it's just going to the estimates. Set your customer punya name. If there's no one, I'm sure you don't have anyone now. If it's new to you, then just add the customer name. If ada address, it will be shown here. But tadi I malas, I put the text only. And then normally I'll set a quotation here since no one really understands what's estimate. Just use quotation. That's a common term we use. And what's the item you sell? If you have any other description, I can say ada nasi, ada pusu. Okay. So give some description, put the price, put the quantity, then it will give you the total. If ada discount pun, it will directly count it for you. So don't worry anything else. Unless there's any terms or notes that you want to include. For example, my term could be, I give you net 30 days you need to bayar. Let's say lah for catering. So net 30. So or you want to set like bank transfer, other bank transfer punya option. Normally I'll do this. Bank transfer, I have BIBD. What's the number? I have Baiduri. What's the number? So you can set that as note. So it's easy for people to refer to. Don't need to look at the quotation and then macam mana bayar. Especially today, most of the payment we want it to be transfer, right? Not in cash. So you can see here the total directly already put in, and it should be in BND lah, since we already set the payment type. And yeah, we are done. So you can put a save here, or you are happy enough to finalize and send. Finalize for sending. We can finalize for sending too. My internet also something wrong. Okay, so finalize for sending would be the email yang you set earlier for the customer, and mine is a makeup punya email, so I don't think I can send it out. But this is the subject. If you want to edit that further, because it's in estimate, right? So it's up to you. You can just edit, make it quotation, blah blah. So you got a message. You got a quotation from because this is my business. Let's say your business is XYZ. It will be from XYZ for blah. So they can view it here. It will be given with a link, or you can say, normally I will do this lah to make life easier. I will attach the PDF, and it will BCC to my personal account or my business punya account. So I know I already sent. So if it's not you that handling your accounts, but at least you are aware again, your accountant already sent it out. So at the end, you can just finalize and send. Well, I wonder I can send out or not. Can. Someone is text@gmail.com. All right. Okay, is everything good? So far so good, yeah. It's only a quotation. So we can see what a customer view would be if you look at here. There's a preview customer punya view. Because they're going to receive a link, right? Oh my, it's loading. Okay. Or if you want pun, you can download the PDF. There's a download button here for your own records. So this is the preview for you to see what your customer would see. Okay. And there's a accept button so that your customer can say, oh, I accept your quotation to that. Okay. So this is what your customer would actually see. Because some companies still very manual. When kena minta the quotation, still have to do it like pakai Microsoft Word or Google Docs. So this one it's easy. The template's already there. Just put in the details. Okay. So let's say kena accept sudah. What would be the next step? Here you see it's actually saying that they have actually sent. All right. So after, let's say kena accept sudah. Okay, come here. You could actually do it manually by yourself, mark accepted, or the next step will be after kena accept, you can convert to invoice. So you don't need to redo it again because it's the same thing. Then it will be the same. That quotation means that that particular invoice. So let me convert that directly. Okay, so you can see now it's in invoice. If you want to edit, okay, because invoice now not quotation kan, I'll normally take it out. But other things still the same. You can include a due date here. So let's say I give what 1 month. So 17 like that 16. So it'll be 1 month's time. Everything else is the same. Okay, cool. Then we can finalize and let it go. So you can save. If you're ready to send, you finalize for sending. And if already kena bayar, then let's say that person already pay you, then you can actually put an add payment here. If kena bayar already. Okay. How to edit the recipient? I haven't put in the email. Okay, that's one question about the customer. So, okay, we're clear with this. I'll let go of this off now. Let's go to invoice. I'll show you how to directly create an invoice. Let's say there's no quotation required. Same thing, go to invoice. There's an invoice here on the top. Go to the plus button. So you come out to invoice again. It's just that tadi is quotation convert to invoice, right? But now another quotation terus invoice. So here, the question that I'm having from Faiza. Okay, so Faiza here. You don't need to go anywhere. You just need to come here, bill to customer. So you belum ada customer, right? So you just type any name. You will see that there's a popping out, say add QQQ. You press that, add QQQ. This is where you can include your contact email. For now, you can email to yourself lah. Huh? For now, yeah, let me email to myself. Okay, I have some address. My location di Tulap. Okay, then you can save it. So that would actually appear here. Your contact, siapa yang you sending to. And then here obviously is an invoice already. So normally I'll not touch anything. The date is today, 17th October. I say bagi 1 month, it will be 16 November. What I'm selling again. So probably I'm selling something else now. I sell kolomi also. My kolomi is $3. Let's say 30 packet, $90. My terms, my notes, if ada. So it'll be amount due will be $90. So that's what your customer will see, and they need to pay by 16 November. Okay, cool. I finalized for sending. Oh, I wonder you guys are using like one screen or 2 screen now. Is it okay so far? If it's okay, can you type a 3 for me? At least for quotation and invoice, everyone is clear what to do? All right. It's very straightforward, kan? It's just data entry. They will create directly. You should receive the email if you put your email there. Aduh, okay. Something wrong with mine. Okay, if anyone other question, just type in later, yeah, I'll check later on. So let's move on because it's like 2:50. Wow. Let's go to the second tab. It is under transactions. Yes, I'm done. So this is transactions. The normal ones that we use, again, the green button. Let's go to the green button, and you will see there are a few buttons here. Let's say you ada money coming in, then you use the green one with the $sign, deposit. So let's say money coming in. Today is the date, will be there, automatically appear. Paid to which account? So let's say I'm receiving cash. What's my example just now? Other income, right? That paid to my cash. Okay, let's say I'm charging $200, and this is my fee, my income. Other income. Okay. So let's say I just come up with like other primary income. So this is a category. I just simply make up something since it's not something that I normally use. Other primary income. Let's say I'm running this class and I'm receiving $200. You're paid to my cash. So save. So what you'll see here, it should be appearing with my $200. Okay, so you'll be appearing here. Other primary income, $200. I'm receiving it. And there's a green button here, which you can check or uncheck. So if receive already, you confirm already is correct, and then you can make sure it's correct. Like if belum masuk apa, then you can just untick it. It's up to you, but normally you see everything is green now. So I can show you next is expenses. That's a normal one. Pay out direct cash again to make our life easier here. Let's say I bayar gaji $500. So category would be gaji is salary, kan? Salary. Okay, it's not here. Is there anything else? Salaries? Okay. So I use the account that they already have, salaries and wages. So maybe this is salary to CL. You can actually put some detail. Salary to CL, salary to Akila. So it'll be clear who are you paying to. And yeah, salary to CL is here. This one tadi actually I can put lang. I put fees, right? Fees will go digital. Save it. So you can always edit. Tadi I didn't edit kan. Now I edit already. So fees coming into cash. Okay, what category are them? So that's the basic one. Deposit, money coming in. Expenses, money going out. So another case would be transfer is just transferring money. For example, let's say I have cash in hand, but I want to transfer to my battery bank. Let's say, so I want to transfer 150 from cash because I'm receiving cash kan tadi, but I want to pay to my bank. I think I created a BIBD before. No. So let's say BIBD bank is not exist yet. I can create a BIBD bank account. Let's say. So you can say add BIBD account. So this bank account is what we own then. What we own is actually asset. And in fact, this is current asset. So you can actually create accounts that is relevant to your company here. If ada value sudah, let's say my bank Anang ada 450 sudah lah. Is it enough to pay out? Give me $1,000. And maybe I started October. So I can save it. So that means my bank ada 1,000 lah. But now I'm transferring cash, my normal cash account, which is what I'm receiving tadi, to my BIBD account. So I can just save it. So this is transfer. You're transferring money from one place to another. Okay. And I will show you the last one, which is custom. Custom macam more like a journal lah. So it looks like a journal. I can show you the advanced view. So you will see the other debit credit in this case. So let me show you. If other capital, I'm bringing money again to my business. So capital, just now we say C, right? Look at the C. So capital will always be credit. So it will be here, invested capital. So I just use like whatever that's already here. Let's say I masuk $10,000. So if masuk, cash must be debit, capital Anang credit. And there's no difference, you see, debit 10K, credit 10K, just save it, that means correct already. So this is the case where I invest lagi 10,000 to my business. So it will look like this. So when there are cases that you need adjustment like this, so capital lah, drawings lah, then you will actually need to use this one, custom. If it's something very direct, terus macam sales, money is coming in, ada dividends, let's say, you know that money is coming in, then you can use deposit. For expenses, okay, anything that you pay out, then you can use expenses. If ada insurance pun, okay, terus you can just go ahead, pay for what? Insurance. You see, insurance is already here. And you look at the advanced view, then this will appear, the debit credit. Because you bayar kan, so it will be credit. And insurance, if you still remember what we did earlier, it's expenses is always debit if increase. So we can just save it. Okay, don't worry, you will be doing the exercise later, but I just show you some example now so you know what to do. One thing to highlight, if it's on credit, let's say ada sales on credit, when we say sales on credit, it means we haven't received the money. So that means we need to issue invoice to minta payment. Okay, there's one case like that. Or if any other expenses, basically you can use everything lah. This one is the most common one that you will use. But the thing is that you need to have the common knowledge, the very basic knowledge of which account to debit, which account to credit. Okay, and I'll show you the reports now. There's a third tab. And you can see like mostly need to buy, but only few free 1.5. So income statement is the basic one. Let's go. Wow, my internet is slow. So we should be able to see income statement. So the purpose of income statement, it's to find out what it's, if you're making a profit or loss, finally. Okay, so the date, you can set the date now. Well, actually, I have like other transaction before for my other classes, so there should be more things to show you. I show it in monthly, or you want quarterly, dapat also, or yearly. We show the total, accrual or cash. So these two terms, the meaning is that if cash, meaning they only show all the cash transaction yang ada through cash already. Accrual meaning the transaction is not in cash yet. Maybe ada hutang apa, but they will still show it. Let's say I have a sales, but I haven't received the money. I haven't received in cash, but it will show here that there is a sales. By right income statement, Anang pakai accrual pulang. So let's just stick to the original setting, and it will show all the settings, all the transactions, or you want to confirm one saja. So this is how it looks like. Other sales, remember just now I have a fee, right? $200, so it's here. So that's my total income. My expenses are the different things, different items, but the total is here. And other revenue, another expenses, another. So it depends on what do you identify as other revenue. So for example, if you have a sponsorship to your business, that is not your normal sales kan, you can put it under other revenue. Sponsorship lah, let's say. So for example, Go Digital ASEAN, it's a grant. So it's not the main income, but it comes as a side kan. So that could be under other revenue for association. So net income would be expenses. So 1560, 1560, that's the net income. Income, it's the profit that you made for your business. And then you see my October already lost, it's green color already. Okay, that's income statement. Very simple, straightforward. It's just the amount that you're receiving minus all the expenses that you money keluar lah. Can the accounting data be exported? Okay, for export, for zip books, it needs payment. You see there's a star here. It will need a payment for that subscription. I'll show you lah, so we can see the pricing. Balance sheet. So it shows the net worth of your company at that particular day. So you can see my asset, other bank account, other cash, other debtors, that's account receivable. Other asset, I have an equipment, 150, I have a liability, no liability. Okay. And you will see balance sheet normally why people say, oh, mesti balance 11960, 11960. So this is actually our accounting equation that asset must be equal to liabilities plus equity. So these two must be balanced, and obviously most of the time you'll balance lah, unless your journal buat salah sudah. If there is a difference between debit credit, but at all times, if we're using a software, it should be balanced because they have done the debit credit for us. Okay, that's the basic one that you need to know. But let's say you want to know the debtor side, we can actually see this. XYZ actually owe me money already 30 days, 330. So this is if you need extra info lah, but it's something extra, then the main one would actually be the first two. And yes, if you need it to be exported, then we need to pay. Like I said earlier, it's so hard for me to find anything free now. I used to teach another software that is very user friendly, but they close out for countries outside of US. So I'm currently using Starter here for the free one, $0 per month. But if you need to have more feature, for example, this one, Smarter, is $15 per month. Okay, and there is a $35 per month. So you can see like what it is, but basically you want to report, right? Reporting. Then you can try the free trial first and see if it's something for you. Okay, I'll leave it to you to check which one is the best one. But actually, I'm also exploring like different types of options that we have. But for now, that's the best one. Oops, I actually lock out. Okay, Let us go back for now. So now it's your exercise time. If you're using just one screen, I would suggest you just take a quick photo of this, and then you can focus on data entry to your zip books. So this is the exercise, and we have roughly like 30 minutes for this exercise. Yeah, if you can finish by 3:15 to 3:20, then we can start discuss on the answers. Okay, let's look at the question. You can use October if you like. Just make sure the date. Okay, even for me, I forgot to change the month. You can use October, but the days ikut saja. 1st October, 2nd October, 2nd October. So on the 1st October, my scenario is like this. You baru start your business with $500 cash in hand. Okay, so that means the money will go into cash account. On the 2nd October, you bought a new equipment for $150. So that's your non-current asset. There's an equipment. So on the same day, you buy a rental to this particular company, XYZ Management. On the 4th, you spend $10 on advertising. Yeah, quite correct lah, but yeah, I think it's good enough also for social media. On the 6th, you started operations and made a sales of $600. So assuming it's a cash sales, you actually make a sales of $600. And on the 7th, you make sales of $250 on credit. So remember, on credit meaning belum kena bayar, but you already sell. So this one would require you to issue invoice. Okay, cool. Can we start working on it now? So on your zip books, can you try to do the data entries for this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 transactions? And when you are done, can you give me a 10? If you have any questions along this 6 questions, just let me know, yeah? Don't keep it to yourself. I'll try to answer. I'll get back to you as fast as I can. Okay, first one is capital. You baru start a business. If you remember, I just showed you. I showed you earlier. Capital macam mana? So while you're trying this, if there's any very specific transaction that your company currently is having, but then you don't know what to do about it, then you can ask me also. Like the donation case, oh, that's very new. Because it's something that's out of their operation. So for 1st October, it's either you do a deposit or you can use the transaction under custom. Okay, so from SIM. So any money that comes from the owner or any investors, it's considered capital. So that means you will have the 1st October case, right? The money is coming in and you're using that money to pay your salaries. So the double entry would be money is coming in, so debit cash for sure, or debit your bank account. The money is coming to your bank. And if there's no sales, that means your income, there's no income for now. But you still have money to pay because the money pays directly from your bank. So you have expenses. So it means your income statement would show a loss. Operating income will be a loss. That's quite normal as well, because first 2 years probably you are focusing on building up your business then, so there's not much money coming in yet. Even for Mavis.life, we started without any sales because we are focusing on building it, and now after June Berita, slowly there are sales coming in. All right. Equipment, you may need to create an account for it. Remember just now how I created my BIBD bank account? So you create a equipment account, let's say if Nada, then put it under the category, it's non-current asset, yeah? Because you use it obviously more than a year. But there are cases also, for example, stationery, your calculator lah. If you look at your calculator, tahan lama kan? But the thing is that it's only $20 stuff. So it would be weird for us to put it in the balance sheet as a non-current asset. So for cases like that, there's an accounting concept for that. It's called materiality. We can just treat it as expense. So expenses, normally we have like stationery, right? Like stapler or ink or calculators, things like that. We would actually treat it as expenses, because the amount we can set, let's say it's your company policy. Anything less than $50, you will treat that as expenses, even though pakai lama. Yeah. Can you guys update me which question are you on now? Just in case. Are you on like first or the second or the fourth sudah? I think the first one can sampai 6 or 7 already. Yeah, can put it in the text box. Which day are you now? And do you need any help? We have about like, let's give another 5 minutes. Everyone is busy, yeah. No one want to reply me. Which day are you now? Those young on still on the first and second, please let me know, yeah, if you have any questions. If not too sure what to do, text me, I can show you how. Basli, complete. We will check your answer later, yeah. Just get ready with your report. Then we can double check if my answer and your answer is the same. We will check our income. We check income statement, is it a profit or loss? We'll check our balance sheet, is it the same balance? Basli is the Basli I know. Yes. How are you? Good to know. I see you very good, eh? Progressing well. Okay, let's wait for the rest. It's interesting. Last time I have one student ask me like, how if it's a restaurant, business, every day banyak transaction, right? So you have like $10, $15, $20. Like, let's say you have 100 transactions. Are we going to do it one by one? And I say like, oh, okay. In your shop, what do you use? In your restaurant, what do you use? There's a POS system already, right? What's POS again? Point of sale. Point of sale. So you have a POS system. So for example, in my restaurant, I'm using Loivers. So with that, you have the total already for the sales of the day. You don't need to enter one by one because let's say your POS system already have the records, right, of everything. And that's the source document already. Then you bring the total to the software. So let's say today on the 17th, my total sales is $800. So you just masuk saja lah. My sales for today is 800. Don't need to do one by one lah because the record ada sudah. So different business are a bit different in nature. I have another student. They're using a software already, but they want to transfer to the new software. So even that also a challenge. Sampai ada double count lagi. Because the old balance, when they bring forward the number, they remasuk lagi ba. So they do the redeposit and all the transaction, they redo it. So that means double counting. So I help to fix out a bit lah. So yeah, different challenges for different types of company. Yes, high roll. How about purchases? Do I need to key in or just the total of a receipt? I mean, for consumer and small purchases. You mean, is it for, so if it's a purchases, that means it's under cost of goods sold. And I would normally just put maybe the total unless you have different categories. Is this for, let's say restaurant, ingredient would be the purchases. But if let's say I'm buying stationery for my restaurant, that is an expense. You can just put the total. For me, I'm not going to say like, oh, I buy satu stapler, satu calculator, like that. I can just put the lump sum, and that receipt itself, it's your source document. So you can refer to that. Okay, that's the receipt kan. Okay. How much is the total? What's the breakdown? So it depends on what are the items for your case and which category. So we just need to put in the right category. But purchases normally is cost of goods sold. It will show us the gross profit. That's under income statement. So in the reason why you have purchases, because you are a trading business. You buy and resell. Macam my restaurant, that it's a trading business. So we have gross profit. We have a term called gross profit. But if it's Mavis.live, I'm doing a service business here. I'm running trainings kan. So in this case, I don't really have a purchases. So it's more like I don't have the trading part. I'll only have my lower, which is what we call the profit and loss part. So it will be just income and expenses. But I wouldn't have things like purchases or stock, things like that. Okay. How's the rest? If you have complete this, can you give me a 10? Because so far I only have Basili finished it already. And we are at 3:18 now. Yeah, please update me. How far are you now? Mighty. Okay, high roll 8/10. What that means? One more. The last one is an invoice, yeah. I keep reminding you. Last one, buat saja invoice, then you are cool to go. It's not under transaction. So in another 2 minutes, I'll reveal the answer. So for those yang done, you can check. For those yang not yet, probably you can try lagi and then check lagi your answer after that. If still other issue, you can always email me. All right, last 1 minute. "20 minutes for this exercise." So it's like 3 minutes per transaction. Yeah, 3 minutes. Then 18 minutes, then 3 times 6. Last one, it's an invoice. I already made the sell, but it's just that belum kena bayar. Quotation meaning belum confirm that I'm selling. But this one confirm sell sudah. It's just that I haven't received any money. Yeah, so it's an invoice. Yeah, if your company normally by cash basis, right? You don't really need to know invoice lah. Unless gonna request, right? So if it's just a normal business, you just need to issue a receipt like that, then don't need to worry about on the 7th of October. You will just do something like 6 October. Just deposit saja, masuk cash. How much? Okay, my time it's now 3:20. The rest, do you have any specific question? Since you're not done yet. I'll show you the answer first. For those yang complete, can you check if your answer and my answer is the same? Except that I'm doing this for September because tadi I kacau my account already, so it won't be the same. But this is the answer that you should have. Your sell should be 850. The 600 is in cash. The 250 is on credit. But because it's on accrual basis, it will actually show the total here at 50. Although my 250 belum masuk the money. Okay. And expenses, I have $10. I have a rent of $50. Maybe cube store saja this one. Rent a cube, $50. And that's total expense of 60. My operating income is 850 minus 60, I get 790. Any other income or expense, nada, so that's my net. So this is net income or net profit. Can I know if you get the answer? Just type a 10 for me if you get 790. If you can't get the answer, I just say you can't get the answer. Then we can check what happened. This is a very, very simple transaction. Still very simple. We don't really cover things that's like the adjustments, like depreciation. Or I have one student that asked me about depreciation. But that's more advanced level. But for now, at least you are able to record your sales, your expenses, money in and out. Okay. What happened to Humaydi and Hyrule? You mentioned that earlier that you already finished it. Cannot get the answer. You cannot get the answer. What is missing here? Sales at 50, advertising 10, rental is 50, net income, oh, okay. All right. I only heard from 3 of you. There should be another 20 plus of you. Is everything okay, guys? Yeah, this is the time to ask me questions. All good. All right, this is your balance sheet, yeah? Balance sheet, what's your answer? Your current asset, there should be 890 punya cash. There's a debtor of 250. Yang tadi hutang ni 250, that's why it's here. There's an equipment, which we baru fix. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I said non-current, but in this category, they use fixed. So it means the same thing. Something that stay long in your business. You use it to make sales, right, at 150. So your total asset is these two plus together, the current and fixed, it will give you 1290, which is equal to your equity. So 790, it's a retained earning, meaning this one actually come from the earlier one, the income statement. Assuming that you didn't take out any money now that you earn from your business, it should be here. So I invested 500 at first and tambah lagi with the profit that I made. Okay. So if it's a loss, here the 790 would actually be negative. It will minus whatever losses that you made, but the two number here, 1290, 1290 should be the same number lah. Whatever number it is, it should be the same. And that's why they call it balance sheet, balance sheet. But sometimes even if balance, we said that it doesn't mean that 100% is correct. There is a possibility that with error, but still balance. That's under correction of errors lah. There's a topic called correction of errors. Okay. Is there any other questions? All good now. Oh, this is a good class, eh? Everyone got the answer. Do you have any specific question for your business? Or you belum start any business? If you have any business, I'm sure there's something that you have in mind that you want to get answers. Okay, Chan, no question. Okay, thank you, thank you. Yeah, this is a very straightforward software, and you can see that most of the softwares would look quite similar. They use the most similar terms, and it's just that most of the software would require subscription for now. They all go for a subscription model. We can't really get a free one, but so far this one is still free, at least for now. But like the question earlier, if you want to export the data, export the reports, you will still need to pay. But if not, it's just a simple recording, then I think ZipBooks is good enough, at least for now lah. That's based on my research. If other software all requires payment, but there is trial version. I think like at the end, sometimes it's okay to make some investment like this. Yeah, it's good refresher. So it's good to make some investment if it's for your business purpose. It makes life so much easier to automate things like this, or else balik lagi, there's so many people still using Excel. There are so many people, some people are still using books and papers. So how are we going to that's the reason why we have this program, right, to digitalize it. So since there's no further questions, I'm closing in for this session. Yes. Okay, Liana would need us to take a group photo. Okay, but just to close it up, just to let you know as well what we are doing at Mavens.live. There are a few upcoming workshops. If you're interested, I'm doing a leadership program, leadership session, sharing session next week about SL2. It's something from, it's actually a course that I joined on Tim Blanchard program. So if you're interested, you can go for leadership courses next week. We have something on e-commerce coming in from speakers in Singapore. There's a digital branding with LinkedIn. I'm sure if you want to connect with me, can just search for me, okay? CL Charlie Go on LinkedIn. So we also have financial planning. This is quite popular. So this is the upcoming course that I shared earlier. I want to come out with a business accounting course where we can teach more advanced level, not just this very short session. So if you're interested, can just contact me on mavens.live. You can just email me hello@mavens.live. Okay. So I will stop sharing and we can have a group photo together. Yeah, we would need your full name for the certificate. Okay, hand over to you, Liana.
Okay, can the participants open up their cameras so we can take a group photo?
Oh, just me and you, Sim.
Anyone else? I see Basili.
Basili on fire. Then are you taking now?
Is it, well, is this everyone?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chan cannot. His laptop don't have camera. Or like my sister also. I was like, why don't have camera? I just realized other laptop and another camera.
Okay, this is Sarah. Anyone else?
Yeah, thanks, Arina. Many new faces actually. All of you are I'm quite new to you guys. But I guess that's all.
Okay, I'm gonna start talking now. Need to pause. 1, 2, 3. Let me face that. Okay.
Yeah.
One more time.
Is that all, Liana?
One more time.
Oh, okay.
1, 2, 3. Okay, freestyle.
Okay, so everyone already put in your name to get your certificate. So thank you so much. If you're interested to learn more, just visit my website. Yeah. Take care.